And hello, everyone. Welcome to another power scanning session. It is April 19th, 12 p.m. Eastern Time. My name is Daniel Sinnick, and I'm greeting you once again from our beautiful office here in Montreal, in Canada. All right, and I can tell you, we have some very interesting setups in store for you for the week and weeks ahead. So that please look out for this once we kick off this webinar. Now, before we get into it, let me ask you guys a question. Where are you calling in from? So I already mentioned I am calling in from Montreal here in Canada. Who else do we have? Please put your location into the Q&A box. Who do we have? I can see we have a pretty full room today. Aubrey says another balmy evening in Cyprus. In contrast to the balmy price action in LLY. Yeah, that was a good one, wasn't it, Aubrey? I think we called it out last week. What a move it was. John from Sag Harbor, New York. Hey, John, how's it going? Gerald from Santa Fe. Keith from Middlesbrough, UK. Nice. Anatoly from Tashkent, Uzbekistan. Wow, Anatoly, welcome. This is a new one. I think we never had somebody from Uzbekistan in our room. Awesome. Andrea from Berlin. That's actually very close where I'm originally from. I'm from Rostock, Andrea. Nice. Lenny from New York City, almost 82 degrees Fahrenheit. Yeah, it's quite warm and mild here in Montreal today. It's a nice day. Faith from Palm Springs. Nish from Ontario. Hey there. David from surprisingly warm Delaware. Nice. Lenny from. Oh, am I back from Brazil? Yes, I am back from Brazil. I'm back in Montreal. I can see this is our office here in downtown Montreal, properly set up with the beautiful background, our nice Samsung Frame TV. I even have some lights going on for our webinar. Everything is prepared to have a nice session. All right. So with this, I also would like to extend a special welcome to everyone who perhaps is joining us for the very first time. Now, I know we have many repeat users, but perhaps some of you are here for the very first time. And if you do, please put a number 1 into the Q&A box if you are hearing about us or joining us at these live scanning sessions for the very first time. Yes, Anatoly, I thought you would be one of the first. Anatoly from Uzbekistan. Hey there. If anybody else is brand new, please put a 1 into the Q&A box. Also, Nish from Ontario is there for the first time. Let's just get on with it. Yes, I've got all in due time. Okay. Now, who are we? Well, we are tradingindicators.com, and my name is Daniel Sinnick. You can see me here on the left-hand side. And, we at Trading Indicators, we actually a full team. So that's Homer and I, we built this company from the ground up. And Nicholas joined us about 5 years into this mission, and we really specialize on creating innovative trading solutions. This can be trading indicators, as our name may suggest, but these can also be fully automated strategies, trading scanners, trading dashboards, and so forth. And of course, in this session today, we are going to be using a tool called Liquidity View, which is our powerful scanner designed to find interesting swing trading setups. And as you will see, most of these setups, these are based on what's called technical analysis, which is basically a pattern analysis of your price chart. We believe that fundamentals are almost immediately priced in, and by analyzing your price chart from a technical point of view, you can find really powerful setups, which can still have relevance moving into the future, because in trading, this is what trading is all about. We want to find something which has relevance moving into the future, not just historically speaking. Also, we believe that trading can be simple, and trading, in fact, is simple, but you need to know what to look for. And one mission of this session today is to share with you what we are looking for, which setups we are considering as powerful and important, and which tools we are using for this. Also, guys, if you have any questions, please don't hold back. Put your questions into the Q&A box, and we're going to get to those as we proceed through this webinar. Just one note, this session is being recorded, and the recording will be sent to you afterwards, but also you can find the recording on our YouTube page shortly afterwards. So please look out for that. I also need to remind you that trading does contain risk and therefore is not suited for every investor. If you trade, make sure to only use risk capital, which is money that you actually can afford to lose. When it comes to backtest performance or hypothetical performance, keep in mind that this is not necessarily indicative of future performance and any trade ideas. And strategies discussed in this webinar should not be construed as trade advice. These are for educational purposes only. All right, so with this out of the way, let's go through a couple of housekeeping items. And once done, we're going to jump right into the markets. So number one, if you have not checked it out, please have a look at our bootcamp about our Liquidity View dashboard. You know, in these scanning sessions like today, we can only really touch the surface of what you can do with the dashboard. So if you want to learn all about it, about all its features, all the cool stuff that it has built in, check out the bootcamp at tradingindicators.com/bootcamp. And Nicholas will also put this link into the chat box. So tradingindicators.com/bootcamp. Also, second, if you are not part of our Discord community yet, please join. It's completely free. Simply go to tradingindicators.com/discord, because once you join there, first off, you can join all our members in one channel. You can exchange ideas, ask questions, get questions answered, and so forth. So that's already great. But secondly, you will also receive our fully automated trade alerts, which we have for day trading, but also for swing trading. So whether you're a day trader or a swing trader, no problem. You're going to find some value in our Discord channel. So tradingindicators.com/discord is the link for this. And this will also be put into the chat box. Lastly, if you don't have access to our dashboard yet, perhaps now is a good idea to get access. Why? Because you can interactively follow along our scanning process, which filters we are using, how we set up at the dashboard, how do we configure it, and so forth. And the best news is it is completely free for the first week, so no risk whatsoever. Simply go to tradingindicators.com/view. If you sign up, you will get instant access, meaning it will probably take perhaps 60 seconds until you get your username and password. And from that point on, you can interactively follow along our process. And lastly, we do have written an ebook on the setups we're going to be considering today. We call this ebook The Power of 3. The link is down here and also in the chat box. So if you're interested, please download this ebook. And lastly, if you have any feedback, don't hold back, good or bad, new symbols, new features, improvements, suggestions, please put those into the Q&A box or send me a quick note by email. Nicholas will put my email address or our email address into the chat box as well. Now, with this, let's get into the markets. It was a short week. Of course, Friday, the stock market was closed. So let's see what has happened from Monday till Thursday this week. So for this, I'm going to open up our dashboard. There we go. And we're going to start off with the SPY. So what's going on in the SPY, the S&P 500 ETF? All right. Okay, a little recap. What are we seeing here? Well, we are seeing a drawing, which I drew back in the day. And then maybe today is going to be the day where I'm going to change this drawing. Because I think, don't be scared, this low point may actually not be the low point yet. I'm going to explain to you in a second why that may be. We're going to see next week, of course. But there are some factors which tell me, hey, perhaps this is not the low point. But what has happened so far? Well, we broke support. You can see price broke this red line here. Support was broken. We had also the trend line break, and then price initially went further down. But soon after, it went back up again, back to the broken support level, which is then acting as resistance. As we all know, support can become resistance once broken. And this is exactly what happened here. Okay, so then after this, we went up and then we went down again, all the way to this low point. Then up, and now a bit of downwards move too. And let me quickly redraw this little painting here to explain to you what this may mean. So I'm going to take this off and this one as well. I'm going to take some new colors. Actually, I'm going to use the same color. So I'm going to draw, should make this a little bit bigger because you're going to see, oh, sorry, in a second what I meant by this. Let me just make this a little bit bigger. Okay, so this was our trend line. Actually, let me change the color of this so it's not so conflicting. So then we had the first move down here from the all-time highs down all the way to this low point. Okay, that's fine. Then we went up to this broken support level, now acting as resistance. Then we went down all the way to this low point here. And I thought maybe that might be the low point. Okay. Because it hit right this former resistance level acting as support, right to a key technical level. But then we had this. Another leg up. And now what are we seeing here actually to this level here? What are we seeing right now? It seems to me that this may be the start, the start of potentially another leg down. And if it is, then we have a classic 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pattern. If this should this be the case, we will likely exceed this low point even further. Now, of course, we are nowhere near yet. We are still, as you can see it here, above the support level, this red line here. But if this breaks, and we're going to find out next week, if this breaks, I think this may not have been the low point yet. We may see another leg further down. So I don't want to scare anyone, but from a technical point of view, that's a valid setup if this support level breaks. So we're going to see what happens next week with this. So that's the QQQ. Big days ahead. So if we hold support, of course, and we push higher, all bets off. So if we get above this level here, above 549, then I think we're in good shape. If not, if we break this, well, we'll see. All right, so QQQs, very similar, the NASDAQ 100 ETF, very similar picture to the SPY zone break here, the retracement back to the broken zone, the classic zone break retracement setup, then the big move. We hit our low point, up again, and now, once again, if you can hold this level, we're in good shape. If not, we see another leg further down. So quite a similar picture here. Moving on, oil. Oil was our trade of the week. When was it? About 2 weeks ago? I think so. We called it out trade of the week in oil. Why did we say it back then? Well, look at this chart. It was a beautiful, beautiful chart. So here you can see that oil, once I zoom out a little bit, you can see it here. It's been in a sideways consolidation for years. This whole thing started back here in July 2023, up to the upper boundary, down to the lower, back to the upper, down to the lower, back to the upper. And then we once again approached this lower level here. And we said, hey, this can be a great long trade in oil. Of course, it went a bit further. You can see it here. Prices dropped actually quite a bit further. But now we're back up. And I think if you're still in this trade, this can be a really nice oil trade. I think we also have two gaps here, which are looking to get filled to the upside. And of course, if they get filled, prices must rise. So if you're still in this trade, congratulations. I think it's panning out just very nicely, a bounce off this lower level. All right, so that was oil. What about gold? Our good old friend gold.
We had a question, Daniel. Actually,
yes.
sorry, from Lenny before when you were talking about
Yeah.
the SPY. You said perhaps the new low point coming up, and he said, "Are you talking strictly technicals, or are you also referencing perhaps news?"
No, strictly technical. So we don't do fundamental analysis. I think it's inherently hard to tell what is the impact of fundamental news, how much is already priced in, how will the market react to it. It's super difficult. We focus on technicals, technical levels, which have been proven themselves over and over again, time and time again. And this is what we're doing here. So yeah,
And how
it's
did you
just technicals.
determine this support level? Was another question.
Yeah, well, I didn't do anything actually. In fact, our indicators did it all for us. Look at this. And this is a great question. So my apologies. I probably should have give a bit more context. So let me just hide my drawings. These levels here, see this reddish line here? That's a support level. And this greenish one, that's a resistance level. These are drawn automatically by our indicators. So that's something we specialize in. Our indicators will find these levels automatically for you on the price chart. And with the dashboard, the beauty of it, you can actually scan for those as well. You can scan, hey, for symbols which currently have where the price currently is near support level, for example, or near a resistance level. So yeah, so these are fully automated. And internally, what the indicator does, it's quite complex. It does a multi-time frame analysis of different swing points. It considers volume and so forth to establish these key support and resistance levels. Yeah. Any other questions?
No, just a comment that, hey, the QQQ also looks like the SPY.
Yeah. It's oftentimes very correlated. And when we call out trades, especially in our day trading, we are very careful to not double dip because we also have trades on both symbols, QQQs, or let's say the Nasdaq futures and the S&P futures, that we don't have trades both in the same direction, basically double dipping, because that will just increase or double your risk as well. But yeah, you're absolutely right, Lenny. They are very similar. Yeah. Alrighty. Okay, moving on. Gold, GLD. We're gonna use our the Spider Gold Trust ETF, and oh boy. I mean, let me just put my drawings on here. I'm still kicking myself just a little bit for being so conservative. Remember when I said here when prices came down a little bit, I wanted prices to go all the way back to this broken resistance level. I thought we may see it. They didn't do it. They stopped just short of it. And then things really took off. What a trade this would have been. Now, of course, prices are super extended. This dip here towards the first line of our MA rush indicator could have been a nice re-entry into this long trade. We also had a level 3 pullback of our trend radar indicator. Now, of course, things are super extended. I do believe we are going to see a correction in gold. It has to. It has to. It's so extended. So don't go long now. Be careful of that. My apologies. Wait for the pullback. If you see one, ideally a substantial one, perhaps towards this first line of our MA rush indicator, this one here. See this one that draws the trend. Perhaps that would be ideal, or maybe a level 3 or level 4 pullback on trend radar down here. That would be a great long opportunity to get into gold. Right now, I mean, look where we are, how far we are away from those levels. I think that's the furthest we probably have been. Huge up move in gold. There has to be a retracement in the books in the weeks to come. All right, so that's gold. What else did we have? What do we usually look at? Bitcoin. Yes, what's going on with Bitcoin? Alrighty. Okay, Bitcoin is just stuck, isn't it? It's just going sideways. We had these all-time highs here back in January 2025 at $110,000, give or take. The bigger correction now down to the support level, which coincides, which is fairly near, close by this broken resistance level, which we broke here, now acting as support, and this natural support level. So both these levels give Bitcoin a lot of support, but it's kind of stuck here. Not much action going on. Look how small these bars are. It's kind of untypical for Bitcoin. You know, it's just a big mover in the past, but now we're kind of stuck with very little price action in this area. So it's a classic consolidation pattern. As long as we stay above this level here, I am bullish Bitcoin. Should we break it, then I think we have the abyss below. But as long as we stay above these levels here, I'm still bullish. And I'm hopeful that we may see some volatility in Bitcoin approaching, hopefully in the future, the all-time highs and even better. All right. So with this, now let's scan for some interesting setups for the week ahead. And guys, by the way, if you have any symbol requests or questions in general, please don't hold back. Put them into the Q&A box. Alrighty, so what setups are we scanning for today? Now, they're all going to be what we consider high reward and low risk, meaning they will be based when prices approaches a key technical level, such as a support level or perhaps a resistance level. And we're betting on the fact, for example, that prices may bounce off this level. These are great setups because your risk is going to be very low because your stop loss is just going to be below this level. And the upside could be significantly wider and further away than your risk. So that's the idea, what we're scanning for today. And we're going to focus on one setup at a time. We're going to have 3 setups to go through, give or take. We're going to create a hot list of the most interesting symbols. And then at the end, we're going to go through our hot list to find perhaps the best one of the ones we can find. Sounds good? All right, let's get into it. In the first setup, it's going to be a combination of 2 things. A combination of what we call a healthy pullback and a bounce setup. So what are these? Well, let's start with the healthy pullback. So in a strong trending stock like this one here, prices goes up, but it doesn't go up without a break. You can see it here. Every once in a while, prices retrace a bit. They retrace a bit. They retrace a bit. We call this a healthy pullback, especially within a long-lasting trend where prices have been going up for years. These can be very powerful entry opportunities. And luckily, our indicator, our trend radar indicator down here is able to identify these healthy pullbacks within a strong uptrend. All right. Now, if you then combine this with the correction being also near a key support level, then you have the trifecta. You have a long-lasting uptrend, you have a pullback, and you are near support level. Three factors which are all in favor of a bullish bounce off this level. Because chances are, we say it all the time, the trend is your friend. Chances are the higher that the trend will resume than for it to reversing entirely. That's the idea, what we're going to look for. So a bounce, of course, is when prices go near support level. And the idea is that they bounce off that level to the upside towards the middle, in between support and resistance. Like here, bounce up towards the middle. Okay, so with this, let me go back to our dashboard. There we go. And let's scan. Before we do, I want to do a quick recap of what we found last week, because I don't want to, pat myself on the shoulder too much what we found last week, but I tell you, it was quite good. Okay, let's have a quick look. So this was our hot list last week. Let me just give you some examples. Maybe the highlight was, of course, and Aubrey already pointed it out, Eli Lilly. What a beaut that was last week. So what has happened? Prices went down. Well, let's just look at the chart. It was such a beautiful setup that we found. So look what happened here with Eli Lilly, of course. This was our trade of the week, by the way, that we called out in our newsletter, which worked out beautifully. Okay, so when this loads here, what we can see here, it's just a little bit slow, huge uptrend. And oftentimes after a huge uptrend like this, we're going to have a lengthy consolidation phase. We see it here. Yeah, and Lilly, very clearly, we had this upper range here with our resistance level and this lower range here. And oftentimes when this happens, and we have the same thing in oil pretty much, prices will continue to range from one extreme to the other. Now, that makes this really interesting if we are approaching the lower end. Not so much the upper one, that's always a bit risky, but the lower one. Why? Because here we can first of all expect a bounce. Because we're at the lower end, we are near support level, we may expect a bounce. That's one. Number two, this is a bullish stock. This is not a bearish stock. It's super bullish. It's been bullish for 1,341 trading days. Now consolidating a little bit. Once we are at the lower end of such a ranging channel, and the stock is bullish to begin with, this is a great high probability trade to go long at this price point. And look what happened there. We are already, after 2 or 3 trading days, right in the middle, in between support and resistance. And had you, of course, hindsight, now it's not so interesting anymore, but had you taken that trade, this could have been a nice 16% move right there. Beautiful setup. Eli Lilly, we called it out last week. And this is exactly what we had here in our trade notes. If you look at this, this is where we said, hey, long Eli Lilly could be a good idea. All right. What else did we have? Antero Midstream Corp. What did we do have here? Also a good one. Long-term bullish for 1,103 trading days. Look at this one here. It pulled back towards the support level. Then it broke above this resistance level. And we said, hey, maybe an interesting idea for another leg further up. We're now above resistance. Blue skies ahead, so to say. And look what happened, a beautiful upwards move here as well. So you guys get the point. All right, so perhaps one more, X Financial, XYF. Oh, this one didn't get filled. Okay. Anyways, you can go through our symbols here, or perhaps check out last week's recording for the symbols that we found then. But of course, that was last week. That's too old. That's old news, as Trump may say. I don't know. Now, of course, today we want to find these setups that are relevant for the next week. Much more interesting. All right. So let me quickly clean out everything. This was our hot list. And let's start scanning. And the first setup we want to scan for is the healthy pullback setup. How can we find that? Well, quite easy. Healthy pullback is a setup where we need to be in a long-term uptrend. That's condition number one. So how can we find stocks which are in a long-term uptrend? Well, we have one indicator which helps us with this. And this indicator is called MA Rush. Let me show you on the chart here. I'm hiding this one for a second. You see this indicator on the chart right now? The only indicator on the chart, ignore this drawing. That was my drawing back in the day. It prints these labels on the chart. indicating to you, hey, we are now switching from previously a bearish trend to a bullish trend. And from this point on, ever since this label was printed, we are bullish. Great. So this would have been a great call to go bullish here. So that's the indicator we are going to leverage now. So how can we scan for these stocks which are currently bullish? All right, so let's go to the left-hand side here and let's have a look at our scanner. So there's actually a column here called MA Rush. That's our trend scanner. Okay, so let's go to the filter and we're going to scan now for only bullish stocks. And look what happens here once I enable this filter. We are currently going through almost 5,000 stocks. I click bullish, and now of those 5,000 stocks, only 2,170 are remaining. I mean, only, it's still a lot of stocks. But every single one, you can see it here, they're bullish. Now, Apple, bullish for 517 trading days. It's bullish. It pulled back, but it's definitely bullish. You can see the number here. ABG, Asbury Automotive Group. It's bullish. We're going to pull back like most stocks, but we are bullish. So that's ingredient number one. We want to find stocks which are bullish. Great. Ingredient number two is we want to find stocks which are what we consider a healthy pullback, in a healthy pullback state. This is where this indicator down here comes. And let me actually quickly clean up this just a little bit so it's not so convoluted.
Daniel, is trend radar included in the pro version of by CapTrader? This is a question from Ralph.
The pro version, yes, it is. Yeah, this is the pro version, by the way, Ralph. This is the pro version you're going to get. We just call it differently in the English space. CapTrader, just a bit of context for everybody else, is an offering which we have in German. There we call it slightly differently, but this is the pro version. That's the exact same thing.
Thanks. And one last comment is we have a lot of symbol requests and also a mention from Kevin telling us symbol for SQ changed to XYZ last week. So if you ever have a symbol request you want to add to the dashboard or any change like this you notice should happen, please send us an email to the email posted in chat. And finally, Robert asked Daniel, do you have a specific trading view chart for each type of trade, these setups? Like, I guess, do you set up the chart differently?
No, the beauty is for these kind of setups, for our swing trading stuff, for day trading, it's a bit different, and we can maybe discuss this a little bit towards the end. We have a specific setup for there, and there's also actually a different indicator involved. But for swing trading, it's always this setup where we have our liquidity IQ indicator on the chart, which shows us key support and resistance levels. We have our trend indicator MA Rush, which shows us in which direction does trend point, and we have our trend radar indicator down there. That's what we use. And that's, we like to keep it simple. These are the three indicators that we use for swing trading. They show us most of what we need to know about finding interesting setups.
Daniel, we had one last question. Sorry to hold you up. Was how much for the pro version? I think if I send the link to tradingindicators.com/view, it has all the pricing information there, right? When you check out.
And Ralph, you can also send me a mail afterwards. I can walk you through this stuff as well.
Okay, it was a question from Niche. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, all right. Yeah, but go to tradingindicators.com/view for all this information.
Thank you.
Alrighty. Okay, so back to the where we left off. So long to bullish stocks, and now we want to find stocks which are currently in a bullish pullback state. This is where this column comes in. This one relates or correlates directly to this indicator down here. So let me give you an example. Let's say I want to find a level 4 pullback. What does that mean? Here's an example. CHKP. This number 4 here is currently in a level 4 pullback state. And I love this one, actually. I'm going to add this one to my list right away. This was actually more coincidentally. Look what happened here. Bullish for 590 candles, trading days. This is a daily chart. So if I scroll back, you will see a bullish label coming up. Okay. A little bit more. Okay, what's going to come? There we go. That's the bullish label. And if you count the candles, don't do it, just take my word for it. But if you count the candles all the way back to this one here, you will get to this number here, 590. So this stock has been bullish for 590 trading days. All right, very, very bullish, long-term bullish. But currently, you can see it here, just like many stocks, we corrected to the downside. And how far? Well, just the right amount so far. This is still a level 4 pullback, meaning the first 4 levels here in trend radar are red. These are like trend labeled. So The first one, the first row is the short-term trend, then medium-term trend, then longer-term trend. But the longest-term trend, the green line at the bottom, that's still green, meaning this correction right now is still what we consider a healthy pullback, a little pause in an otherwise very strong uptrend. And these are great opportunities to enter long, especially, and it's more coincidentally, if this symbol also coincides with a key technical level, which it is right now. Look at this, where price is, right at this greenish area. That's a former resistance level, which broke and now is acting as support. I love it. You know what I also like? And don't call me obsessed with gaps, because I mention them all the time. I love the fact that this down candle here filled this gap. Otherwise, I would have been a bit uneasy because gaps tend to get filled over time. And for this gap to be filled, well, we would need to go down to this level. This happened. And now we're above this level. And I think this could be a prime candidate for a long trade when the market opens on Monday. So I'm going to add this one as an interesting candidate to our hot list. For this, I'm going to create a new one first of all. So create a new watch list. Setups 2025 April 19. And there we go. Create. And you can see here, if you just go through our history, we've been doing these scanning sessions for quite some time of all these different watch lists here. So it's now created. I'm going to add this symbol to our watch list. Oh, where did it go? Did I misspell it? Oh, haha. Sorry. It's actually all the way up here. You see it? I misspelled. Well, not misspelled, but I forgot the column. That's why it's sorted that way. Let me just fix this real quick. I'm going to rename this so it's properly spelled just like the other ones. And now if you want to edit, it's all the way down here. Perfect. So this has been added to our watch list. Great. Okay, interesting one. So this is one example. Let me find you another one. Just by looking, we're going to sort by this in a second. FINV, Finvolution Group ADR. Okay, what do we see here? Wow. Long-term bullish also. Look at this big, nice move up. A couple of gaps here to the upside, which were closed when price came down. Okay, but now we are approaching this support level, and we are in a level 4 pullback. Also, this could be definitely an interesting one for a long trade. I would wait a little bit furthermore. I think prices maybe retracing all the way towards this level and then wait for a long trade. What I also like about this one is look at this down gap. I love these gaps. If I want to go long, a down gap are your best friends, because my bet is, hey, this gap eventually will be closed. If you want to close this gap, where does price need to go? It needs to go all the way up to here. That's another bullish factor here. But definitely an interesting one. In fact, you know what? I'm going to add this one as well to our watch list. Okay, so I picked these ones rather randomly, but actually not that randomly. I looked at two different things here. I looked at trend duration. You can see it here, 590 days for CHKP, or here 289 days. And I looked for that they are on a level 4 pullback. Of course, they all will be, because we filtered for this. So, but now what I can do, I can actually sort by trend duration just by clicking on this column here. You see this? The first one that comes up is this one here. Howmet Aerospace Inc. All right. And we can see here, yes, we are, you can see in the level 4 pullback, and we are near a support level. We can actually see it here. And this is a long-term uptrend for 1,094 trading days. Another interesting stock that potentially this long-term uptrend may resume in the future. And you know, from a technical point of view, this is a valid long setup. So I'm going to add this one as well to my watch list. So I hope, guys, you understand how easy it can be to leverage this dashboard to find some interesting trade setups. Perhaps one more, this one here, UNM Unnum Group. Looks very similar to Hormet. Long-term bullish for 1,057 trading days. That's years. That's like 5 years. If I scroll all the way back, boy, look at this bullish stock. Here it started. Our MA Rush indicator gave you a bullish reading all the way back in January 2021. Look at this move. Big consolidation. All the way down to the third MA Rush line. But now we're back above the support level. This could be an interesting opportunity to potentially go along this symbol. So I'm going to add this one as well. And I guess you get the point how you can identify these interesting setups. Okay, Nicholas, before we move on, are there any questions so far about this setup? Take some coffee in the meantime.
Sorry, I was muted. No, not right now. Somebody just said, you're not using Liquidity IQ setup for this identification, but we are.
They will come now. Yeah, we're going to ease into this. Okay. Now, this is one valid setup, but we can add another ingredient to it, and then we can combine those. So the next thing we're going to do is to find stocks, regardless of their pullback, which are currently near a support level. How can we find those? Well, let me clear out all our scan results here, our filters. Okay, we're back to status quo at 4,994 symbols. And now we're going to leverage our liquidity IQ indicator, the one that draws these support and resistance levels automatically for you, to find stocks which are currently near a support level. Okay, how can we do this? Well, if price is currently near support level, we are expecting a bounce to the upside, a bounce into the long direction. And this is why we call this particular setup, when price is right next to a support level, the long bounce setup. So you're going to go to your liquidity IQ setup column here, okay, and then click long bounce. And look what happens once I do this. I click on it, and off our 4,994 symbols, 9,044 are currently near a support level. Wow, that's pretty crazy. Let me just sort this alphabetically. So let me give you some examples. This one here, for example, ACI worldwide, whatever that symbol does. Or you can see here, yes, price is currently near this reddish label. And by the way, you can configure your indicator, just a quick hack here, to actually show you what you're seeing on the chart. Show resistance and support labels. Click this on and it'll tell you, hey, this is a support level, this is a support zone, and this is a resistance zone. It annotates your chart for you. That's an interesting one. It's a stock which is in a long-term uptrend. It pulled back a level 4 actually by trend radar towards this level, and we are near a support level. Definitely an interesting candidate for a long bounce, a bounce towards the middle, in between support and resistance. The only thing I don't like too much about this particular one is that the distance from here to resistance is not very wide. That's a small distance. Oftentimes, support and resistance, they are a bit further away. So there's more room for a trade to go, because you may expect a bounce of this resistance level to the downside. That's the only thing which I don't like too much about, but from a technical point of view, otherwise, it's a very valid setup. So I'm going to add it anyways. All right, to our hot list, we can further qualify or disqualify this further later on. Another one, this one here, AGM, Federal Agricultural Mortgage Group. Wow, that is a stock bullish for 1,090. Oh, I like this one a lot too. 1,095 days. This is another very similar one. This reminds me of Eli Lilly to some degree. Big uptrend from 1,095 trading days. I have to scroll back years to find when Amy Rush actually shows you the bullish label. It's here, 2020. Now this big correction, and this reminds me, and I think this is a powerful setup. Once again, we entered into this sideways channel, this long-term correction off this all-time high here, or this one perhaps, at 217. We're all the way down here at 274 at the lower end. But this is a long-term bullish stock. This is a prime opportunity to potentially enter long here, because you may expect a bounce towards the middle. That's a big distance. Look how far this is. Even if it just goes to this level here at 190, that's a big move. Yeah, definitely gonna like this one. I'm gonna add this one as well to our hot list. All right. Contrast this real quick, just for the fun of it, with Lilly. LLY last week. Where is it? Here. Doesn't it look similar? It looks completely the same. So maybe history will repeat itself with this symbol. We'll see. All right. Okay, I'm just looking quickly at quick comment. The end. Okay, maybe Nicholas, can you read out some questions? Maybe I'm not following that properly.
Yeah. So, coming down here, so we had a couple questions. I think a couple users were wondering. We didn't have explicit liquidity IQ setups for a couple of the ones we added to our watch list. But that's just because price isn't perfectly at a level or something, so we had to use your discretion a bit.
Yeah,
We
but
had a question.
and we
Oh,
did use them actually at the end when we looked for long bounds. So these were all valid setups which bounced off a level, and yeah, so just mixing up a little bit today, but just to show you the variety of what you can find with the scans. But yeah,
perfect. Okay, and just to remind everyone who asked questions that were answered by text, that to check the Q&A box, because we had a couple questions where I think you might not have seen the
yeah,
answer. Robert wanted to know, can you comment on the end at the end on the difference between the German and English versions of the dashboard? Can you get
there's
the
no
same
difference.
features? Yeah,
Yeah, there's no difference. It's just
perfect.
the only difference is that the brand name is slightly different, but in terms of features and symbols, they're exactly identical.
Perfect. And then Ed says, what's the number next to the long bounce? That's how long, how many days it's
Yeah,
been an active setup for. And
yeah.
then David says, sorry, Daniel.
Let's just look at real quick at Alcoa here. Look where Alcoa is. It says tells me here it's near a support level, and and the number 7 here, meaning since 7 trading days, price is near this support level. And if you count the candles, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, you're gonna get exactly to 7 when price has entered this level. So it's basically a read on the freshness in quotes of the setup.
Perfect. And then Dilip asks, after, can you explain the R score again?
Yeah, at the end, I'll do that.
Sure. And
Yeah.
then David says, for a future enhancement, hey, can you set like, every session you reset your filters to look for certain things? Can you just save those criteria so you don't have to do it the same thing every
Oh yeah.
session? You dynamic watch list, right?
Oh yeah, you can do that already. So I'm just the reason why I'm going through it all from scratch again is just because you have some new users every week. I want them to follow along, but you can save those settings with this add dynamic watch list criteria. So let's say we are looking for a setup, a long bounce, and maybe a bullish stock, which is a powerful setup like this. So what I can do, these are 259 stocks right now based on these filters. So I can create a dynamic watch list, uh, bullish and long bounce. Oops, if I can spell properly. Okay, so I created, and once done, you can see it here. This watch list will now show up in your dynamic watch list filter. Here, you can click on it. And you have the exact same stocks right now, but not tomorrow, Monday or on Tuesday, when new price data rolls in, yeah, the symbols within this watch list, they will dynamically update. That's why we call this a dynamic watch list, because they change from day to day, from week to week, and so forth. And the real cool thing is, what you can also do is you can define a trade alert based on that watch list, because you're telling you, hey, I want to have a watch list, a trade alert every day after market close, which shows me the current contents of this watch list directly in my emails. You see it right away. Hey, what are these symbols in that watch list? So you don't have to open up the dashboard. So yeah, that's pretty cool.
And then we had a couple questions. One from Lenny, kind of saying, hey, not sure from the scanner list, what is catching your eye, Daniel? Like how you're spotting these? And we have posted,
Yeah.
I think, if you are not sure of the setups we're looking for, like long, like bounces and retraces, if that doesn't sound familiar to you, then definitely check out that ebook and the bootcamp link
Yeah.
we sent, because it'll fill you in on everything. And I think it'll catch your eye too
Yeah,
afterwards.
exactly. Check out the boot camp primarily. It's a recorded boot camp. It's 2 hours where we're going to go through every feature and explaining also the rationale behind each setup and what we are looking for. Yeah.
Perfect. And Robert, last question here. Is what's the difference between the regular and pro version? How do you request an upgrade?
Oh, that's the if you have this is the pro version. We have a specific uh, basic version that we offer for this German broker called CapTrader. But Robert, you don't have access to that because you don't have an account with CapTrader. So you have the pro version already. That's the
Perfect.
one.
And from
Yeah.
niche, if you're a new trader, Daniel, what would be the indicator you'd suggest to start with?
Oh yeah, it's definitely liquidity IQ. Being aware, like this indicator here, which shows you key support and resistance levels. That's so important. All our trading, whether it's day trading or swing trading, these are based on these knowing where these levels are, because price reacts to these levels. Price draws is magnetically drawn to these levels. They bounce off these levels. Once broken, it's a big follow through. So everything, well, our technical analysis typically starts with seeing where these levels are. So that's definitely, I would say, the indicator you should have on every chart.
And that plays into this question here, Daniel, about long bounces. That's a long bounce on that chart, right?
Yes.
And Ralph says, look, when we looked for long bounces, we saw many of them, 944 apparently bounces.
Yep.
But how do you choose?
Yeah.
What are the first things you look at to choose the best ones?
That's a good question, Ralph. Nice segue. Let's find out. So yeah, I agree. If you only look at long bounces, we have a ton of them. Let me just take out this filter real quick. Oh, this is the watch list. Back to my end of day scanner. So yeah, we have 944. So it's way too many to go through them one by one. So let's add some additional criteria to it. All right. So what can we do? Well, first off, a long bounce. Let me just sort this alphabetically. Not every long bounce is the same. Let's have a quick look at this stock here. ADIL, whatever they do, doesn't matter. Okay. So ADIL, once this loads, just a second. I think I clicked the wrong button here. There we go. Okay, ADIL. Okay, so we are near a support level, but look at this stock. This stock doesn't strike me as a stock. I mean, it's a crazy stock anyways. Doesn't strike me as a stock that has a big upside potential, where this bounce from this level is going to be very pronounced. Would you agree? It's super, super bearish. In fact, I can see it here. It's been bearish for 762 trading days. That's not a good bounce. I would never trade this. I want to see a stock which is actually at the same time also bullish. And it's right now at the pullback, at a support level. That's what I want to see. So how can we find this? Well, let's add our MA Rush reading to it. I only want to see bullish stocks. All right, now we're down to 259 stocks. And if you really want to go crazy, you can also add in a pullback reading. Hey, maybe I want to see only stocks which currently have a level 4 pullback. Okay, now we're down to 4. That's way more manageable. And then what I like to do is to also sort and trend duration from longest trend to shortest. So this stock here, for example, we already had this one, Howmet Aerospace, great technical setup, currently in the level 4 pullback, long-term uptrend, and near support level. That's my first candidate using these filters. Second one would be this one here, Fox Corporation Class A. Yeah, uptrend for 216 trading days, probably down here. And now we are, actually, let me just quickly switch on. Did I take off my MA Rush indicator? 1 second. 1 second, guys. I think I took it off accidentally. There we go. Now it's back. Yeah. Since June 7th, 2024, we're bullish. We count the candles, 216 trading days. But now, beautiful, healthy pullback to that support level. That's a nice setup. These are the ones I want to focus on. I hope this answers this question. This is actually beautiful. I'm going to add this one to our watch list. We already added, oops, what is going on? Just a second, little hiccup here. There we go. Okay, done. All right, and then you can go down the list this way. Okay, it's actually a Canadian stock here, TAP. Molson Coors, well, maybe it's American now, but Molson is a big beer here in Montreal in Canada. Yeah, not so interesting to me. It's too sideways. I prefer stocks which are like this one here, big uptrend and then a pullback. That's beautiful. This is what I would like to focus on. All right. Any other questions, Nicholas?
Yeah, well, a couple simple requests, and we're going to get to those at the end, asking about futures, so we can look at some futures later on.
Perfect. And Nicholas, just a quick heads up. I think there's something off of your microphone. It's a bit squeaky at times, at least. All right.
Oh, sorry about that.
Oh, no worries. Okay, perfect. Okay, so let's move on. This was one setup, but let's look at another one, shall we? So let me move to my slides just for a second, and let's look at the next setup, zone break. And what I normally say at this point is, hey, nothing in life lasts forever, unfortunately. At some point, things change, and at some point, when it comes back to trading, a support level may be broken, or a resistance level may be broken. But when this happens, opportunities for us are opening up again. Oftentimes, we see a nice follow through after a zone break in the direction of the breakout. You can see it here. This support level was broken. What a nice follow through. Or likewise, when resistance is broken to the upside, we see a nice follow through. Just one caveat to this, be aware that oftentimes, at least initially, we see a pullback, initial fake out, basically, back to the broken level. We call this the zone break retrace. Price initially goes up, then retraces back to the broken level, which is now acting as support. Resistance becomes support when broken. We know this. And then prices really take off in the direction of the break. Just be aware of this. So how can we find stocks which currently have a break above one of these levels? Well, back to the dashboard. I'm going to clean out our scanner here. And I will use now, once again, my liquidity IQ setup column here and find stocks which are currently, let's say, in a long break, meaning a stock which is currently trading above its resistance level. So I click on it. We can see, okay, 104 stocks are currently trading above resistance. But as we'll see, not all of these are equally good or equally up to date, let's say. For example, let's go to this one here. McKesson Corp. You can see it here. Yes, we are above resistance, but this break happened a long time ago. In fact, 27 hours ago, days ago. You can see it here. So this is not really a fresh setup. Nonetheless, it's a really good one. Would have been beautiful to get in here. Price initially goes up, then retraces back. I told you this, back to the broken zone. That's very common. And then this could have been a great re-entry opportunity into this long-term up move. So zone break, retrace, and then the trend continue. I still like it. If this one pulls back just a bit more, I think this could be a really nice long opportunity here as well. So this was a setup which happened 27 days ago. Then we had the break at this point here. But we want to find some stocks where the break happened recently. So how can we do this? Well, we simply sort by duration from lowest, not from highest, from lowest to highest. And one that comes up here, for example, is this one here, IBN, ECC Bank Ltd ATR. I have no idea what they do. They sound like financial services. Of course, they are in the financial sector. Let me just quickly read before we open up the chart. Okay. Actually, I'm not going to read this whole thing, but it's an Indian stock. You can see it here. Headquartered in Mumbai, India. Okay, let's check it out. All right, bullish for 1,009 trading days, and recently, look at this break above resistance. It's a bit of a gap here, which scares me a little bit. I think there might be a retracement soon down to this level. This gap probably will get filled, but if it gets filled, imagine what a great long entry opportunity this could be, entering into this long-term uptrend. Bullish for 1,009 trading days. So I'm going to add this one, waiting for a pullback and then potentially enter long.
This is a good time to answer this question from Lenny Daniel. He says, hey, long break versus long break retrace, isn't that basically the same thing?
It's similar. The only difference is that you already waited out the initial fake out. So you're not entering right on the break here. You wait for things to come down a little bit further. Then this initial fake out is done. The market's tries to fake you out a little bit with this initial correction, and then you enter. So I almost like long break retrace a bit better, because then you already pulled back after this break, and if this level holds, then things typically tend to take off in the right direction. But yeah, this is definitely a good setup. I just like to wait for the initial fake out to be done, and then in theory at least we have blue skies ahead. Nothing is holding us back. The initial fake out is completed, prices seem to be turning bullish again, and then things tend to really take off from there.
Exactly. So Lenny, a long break is right when it happens, right when the level is broken. That's a long break setup. And then a long break retrace setup is, hey, it broke out a little bit ago, maybe a week ago, and now it is retraced back to the level and consolidated. So it's a better reward to risk entries usually.
Yeah, exactly. All right. This one is not really something I would ever swing trade. It's a feeder cattle futures, but if you have the buying power to actually swing trade futures, which is a leverage product, yeah, you may consider it. Also, here we reached all-time highs. You broke above the resistance level. Potentially, enter into this long trade at this point. Nothing is holding us back. We broke resistance, and another leg higher might be in the books. Third one here, Philip Morris International. Also, a stock which turned bullish here on May 28, 2024, roughly a year ago. We broke on Thursday above this resistance level, and we may see another leg higher. You can find these stocks which are currently penetrating a key level like resistance level here, and the same thing also, of course, occurs for let me put this real quick in here. All right. The same thing can also come up with support being broken. There's an example for this. If we switch it off from long break to short break, I can find stocks which actually have support broken right now. Like for example, this one here. ENR, Energizer Holdings Inc. You can see it here. We broke below support. You may see another follow through here and so forth. But in this scanning session, we typically focus on the long setups because I seem to be an internal optimist. I think things are going to turn around medium term for sure. So I don't really want to expose too much in the short direction. All right. Okay. So with this, let's have a look at our watch list to see which symbols are in there, and then we're going to have some symbol requests at the end. Okay, so I'm going to go to our nice watch list, which we created. April 19th watch list, and we have a whole bunch of symbols in here. Okay, so let's go through them one by one. Which ones do we have? Let's start with our pullbacks. Unum Group. Also a stock, I have no idea what they do in financial services. Chattanooga, Tennessee. All right. Seems to be a well-established company. Lots of stuff going on. All right. Just my computer froze for 1 second. It's going to recover. There we go. All right, perfect. So here, I like it. We are right above support here. It's a long-term uptrending stock in level 4 pullback. Yeah. Actually, let me just check this one out first. I want to pick one of these. Checkpoint Software Technology. Just a second. Yeah. I like Unum Group. I'm not going to put this on our hot list because no, I changed my mind. I like it. I like it a lot. I actually saw something. Sorry for this little detour. I was looking for one technical thing. This gap here was not filled yet. See this gap down here? And don't call me obsessed with gaps, but it was not filled yet. We attempted to fill it. We didn't fill it. We turned down again. I think this gap is going to be filled in the near-term future. So I'm going to put this one on our hot list, but our stop loss will be a bit wider, right below the swing low here, around 66. I think it's good to enter now, maybe scale in. And I think this gap hopefully will get filled and this long-term uptrend will continue. So let me add this one to our hot list. I'm going to add this one to our trade notes here, adding a chart screenshot to it. And the cool thing about these trade notes, by the way, guys, is you can, write your tax. You can even dictate your tax. You can annotate everything and so forth. So for now, I'm just going to, keep this screenshot in our trade notes. Okay, that's done. Next one is Checkpoint Software Technology. What's going on here? All right, so we filled this gap. I was happy for this. This gap was filled with this big down bar. Now we're above this resistance level. I think also here we may see another push further up. So I like this one as well for a long trade. So I'm going to add this one as well to our interesting list for the week ahead for a long trade, even entering at current levels. Finvolution Group ADR. All right. Yeah, here I would definitely wait. I think prices, even though we're on a level 4 pullback, they are probably going to come down a bit further, perhaps towards this level here. If they do, perhaps I'll consider entering. But right now, I think this pullback is not completed yet. Prices may go down a little bit further. But nonetheless, just to keep eyes on, I'm going to add this one as well to our trade notes here. Okay. All right. Okay, next one is, let's talk about the bounce setups first. Howard Aerospace Inc. Yeah, this is, I think, an interesting stock. I mean, you have to decide for yourself whether it's ethical to invest into a company that's a lot of military stuff, but it is definitely a valid technical setup. So from a technical point of view, for a long entry. So I like it a lot. Definitely something I would consider for the week ahead. I believe this long-term uptrend will eventually continue. This is a nice pullback to a support level. Ideally, perhaps we're going to see a bit further downwards move towards this level. If yes, you can pull the trigger for a long move. I'm going to add this one as well. All right. Nice. Okay, close it. ACI Worldwide. What is this? Yes, this one, we discussed it. I like it. It's valid. It's just I don't like the fact that this resistance level is so nearby. This is at 51. This is already at 56. I would have to put my target here. I'm going to reject this one. I think it's completely valid, but the upshot here is not far away from me. My reward to risk is not too good here. Fox Corporation. That's an interesting one. I think this uptrend after this big pullback is likely to continue. I'm going to also add this one to our list. All right. Okay. And I wonder, what was the stock where I said this looks like Eli Lilly? Was it this one? Yes, this one. Okay, that was my favorite. I mean, this Doesn't this chart look exactly like Eli Lilly last week? Long-term bullish, 1,095 trading days. Nice level 4 pullback directly to a support level. I mean, I like it a lot. I think it's going to be my favorite one. Oh, this is the wrong watch list. Sorry. Sorry. What happened to my... I think there's something wrong with my watch. We're gonna have to fix this. I think I have too many things going on. Let me actually quickly reload this real quick, guys. And while this is reloading, Nicholas, are there any questions so far?
Sure, yeah. So for later on, we're going to explain the difference between level 1 and level 4 pullback and the R score. We have a question. What's the disadvantage of using a built-in volume profile, if there is one here on the TradingView chart? I don't know, as opposed to volume IQ.
Wow, the big disadvantage is that the built-in one only has basic features, whereas our volume IQ indicator, which you get for TradingView, but also for Ninja and Wave, has all kinds of extra features like action zones, imbalances, overall trend direction, auto optimization, stuff like this. So that's a whole new level. Yeah. In
Perfect.
fact,
And then we
the
had a question
reason,
later.
and sorry, Nicholas, the reason why we developed volume IQ was not just to replicate what's already out there, because it was the real reason was because we were not happy with the built-in volume profile indicators. So they were not useful to us in our trading. So we created something that makes more sense for us or to us. This is where volume IQ comes in. Yeah.
Perfect. And then we had a question. I think maybe this was a chart we were looking at. Yeah, PM on Philip Morris on the watch list.
Yeah.
Could you please click on Philip Morris for a second?
Yeah. Let
We
me
had a
just
question.
quickly.
Lenny says, PM, the chart looks so oversold. What does the indicator see that I don't see?
Okay. PM, Philip Morris, yes. Oversold.
Maybe he meant overbought.
Yeah, if anything, it's overbought. It's extended. I totally get it. And I just think this resistance level was broken. Now we have blue skies ahead. Nothing is holding it back. We bounced off it once. Now we came back above all-time high. I think this thing may fly off from here. But you're right. If you're uncomfortable with this, wait for the initial move up. If it happens, it's gonna pull back at some point. Then you end, and then it's not gonna be so overextended anymore.
Perfect. And then Aubrey says, AGM, not likely to get a drug announcement anytime soon, like Eli Lilly this week. That was a comment.
Yeah, that's right.
And CHKP. The question from David is, why didn't it trigger a long break retrace?
Let's see. Yeah, it looks like the reason is that we went below it first. So technically, that's a new long break here. That's the reason. Because we were below it first here. That would be the long break retrace. Once we penetrate this level after this big down week that we had, and where most levels were at least temporarily penetrated, technically it's a new zone break set up now.
Perfect. And
Yeah.
what time frames do you use for swing trading as opposed to day trading?
Yeah, swing trading is just a daily time frame, typically what we use. Just keep it simple, daily. You can see these are all daily charts. For day trading, it's typically the 5-minute, 50-minute chart that we're using. And join us. By the way, if you're interested in day trading, guys, maybe now is the time. Little detour because I know we have a bunch of new users. I'll show you. This is actually, let me go to our homepage. I'll show you how to get to our YouTube channel. So this is our homepage here, tradingindicators.com. Go there. Top right corner here, you can see the YouTube icon. Click on it. This will bring you to our YouTube channel. Go there, and if you're interested in if you are interested in day trading, go all the way down here to live trading. So you see all these live trading workshops. This is where we day trade the futures market. So we had our last workshop 1 week ago, roughly, and it was a great one. Actually, the last couple of ones, they were highly successful to us. We're really happy, and I'm attributing this mainly to our brand new volume IQ indicator, which helps us to find even more promising setups. Yeah, check it out here.
Thanks, Daniel. Okay, so the only questions left after are explaining something about trend radar and
Yeah,
the dashboard.
perfect. So I'm gonna quickly finish up our setups here. So we talked about this one here. I do like this stock. I'm gonna add this one to our list. Yeah. Oh, this one. No, wait, 1 second. Which one was it? Oh, AGM. This one. Yes. Let me go here. Perfect. Yeah, I do like this one. So I'm gonna add a trade note here. And even though this is not a pharmaceutical company, I still expect a bounce off this level. From a technical point of view, And you're right, Eli Lilly had some drug announcement, which make the price really jump up. But I still think this is a valid long bounce setup from a technical point of view. All right, and then we had, which ones did we not look at yet? Oh, the long breaks. Yeah, Philip Morris. I mean, yes, you're right. It's extended. Maybe wait for the pullback. In fact, I'm going to remind myself, hey, that there's a pullback that may be coming. Put a little label here. If we see a pullback towards this level, then perhaps re-enter into this one. I'm going to add this also to our list here. And by the way, if you annotate your chart like with, rectangles or zones or labels, these annotations will be also added to your trade notes. And what's really cool is you can dictate your trade notes. For example, here, go to the microphone icon. For this symbol, oops, sorry. I started too early. There we go. For this symbol, wait for the pullback and then enter. So it's not that overextended. Any luck, even with my thick German accent, it's pretty good. See this? It was able to pick up my reading. And if you are using a different language like German, you can also dictate your notes in German. All you need to do is to change the language first up here from English to Deutsch. All right. Okay, another long break here. IBM ECC Bank. Yeah, here I would definitely be careful. I think this gap is going to get filled, and then this could be an interesting long trade. But I'm going to skip this one for now. I don't really know much about this company. It might be a very small one, but from a technical point of view, this could be an interesting long break one as well if we see this pullback. All right. Good. Nicholas, are there any questions? Do we have any symbols to go through?
Yeah, so let's get through these questions first.
Yeah.
One was about the R score from Dilip. Can you explain what the R score is again?
Yeah, thanks for the reminder. I forgot about that. Okay, so there's a column called R score on our dashboard. And if you don't see it, you can enable, you have to enable it first with these column configurator here. Make sure the R score has a check mark. And you can disable and enable columns at will in here. So R score is a column which shows you the kind of short-term trend direction. Okay, if it's green, meaning the short-term trend is pointing upwards, you can see it here, it's 120. It's a little upwards short-term, you can see it here. And this is related to our MA rush indicator to the last 50 bars. So this one here, and it looks like how many squares are actually green versus red. There's different weightings. The most recent price information has a higher weight. Longer-term rows have a higher weight and so forth. That's what we use the R score for. The higher it is, the better. So for example, I can search for stocks which are super bullish right now. An R score greater than 400 if we have any. We have a couple. Alamos Gold. Very bullish, as you would expect with gold. Look at this. Super bullish. R score 406. Chimerix Inc. 439. Very bullish. I don't know what happened here. Something crazy happened, but very bullish, of course. FCAP, for example, 437. Very bullish. So you can get a read on how bullish a stock is short term. Okay, so that's what the score is for. Of course, this also works for the negative direction. Minus 400. Agilent. Oh my goodness. This used to be one of my favorite stocks years ago. Agilent. Look how bearish they have turned, really. Very bearish. Really fell into the abyss after the support zone was broken. Wow, crazy. And you can see how powerful these breaks can be. Support was broken here and then really the abyss below. And where did it stop? Where did price action at least take a pause? Look at this former support level here. Almost to the T, we stopped here. Isn't that how magical this sometimes is? This is why we believe so much in technical analysis, because these levels, they are so important and so meaningful moving into the future. All right, I hope that explains the R score.
Could you please explain now for Ralph the difference between a level 1 and level 4, level 1 through level 4 pullback?
Yeah. Okay. All right. So this also relates to this trend radar indicator down here. Let's take these ones out. So a level 1. So these pullbacks can happen for the bullish direction, but also for the bearish one. Level 4 pullback means that the last row is green, but the 4 other rows above that, 1, 2, 3, 4 are red. It's like the depth of the pullback. That's the level 4 pullback. So the last one always needs to be green. And then the 4 ones above are red. That's level 4. Level 3, you go here, is, as you can imagine, the same thing, but the last 3 rows are red. So The lower ones are green, and the first three ones are red. It's a more shallow pullback. See, this shows you how deep the pullback is. This can happen for the bullish pullback, but also for the bearish pullbacks down here.
Perfect. Thank you. And okay, so that was those questions. Now, last question before we go into symbols is it applicable to Forex and futures? Yes, we do have Forex and futures. We're going to look at those shortly in symbol requests. And from Lenny, he says, you said LLY had a drug announcement. You also indicate you liked biotech for interesting volatility, but AGM is a financial stock.
I don't think I said I like biotech for interesting volatility.
I think you might have said the opposite.
Yeah, maybe. No, that's not true. Actually, I do like financial stocks a lot because they're more stable oftentimes. And there's less surprises. Of course, for LLY, it turned out that it was a great surprise, but imagine the drug announcement would have fell through or some negative news would have come out. You could have seen this move already also to the other opposite direction. So I kind of, this was awesome, amazing, but it's also a bit unpredictable because you never know. So I kind of like the non-pharma stocks actually a bit more, even though this worked out very beautifully.
Yes. Okay. Maybe it was because they have a lot of volatility and makes them interesting. So Lenny says, do you mitigate your decisions based on sector, keeping that kind of thing in mind?
Of course,
and do you pay attention to earnings?
Yeah, yes, and yes, and yes. And you have the sector information here. You don't want to double dip. Diversification is key, as you know. People mention it all the time. You can diversify it by sector, by industry group. Because I'll see the industry group here. Oops, where is it? Here. So financial services, for example, for Ally, then credit services, the industry group. DFIN is in technology, and the industry group is software, applications, and so forth. So you can see all kinds of stuff about the stock, and you can click, on this little button here to actually read up on the stock. And then if you when you do your due diligence whether you really should enter into a trade, check out stuff like earnings. We have our earnings state here enabled. You can see when are earnings coming out. Maybe if you are more of an investor, you want to see, hey, what is the dividend yield? When is the DivX date coming up? You can see all these things. You can filter by perhaps stocks which only pay great dividends. And maybe have a market cap of, I don't know, at least 100 billion. You see all these cool stocks here, which have great dividend yields. And this one here, for example, BHP, 5.33%. That's not bad. You can also see, hey, what was the history of the dividends paid out? Was it regularly or was it all over the place? So this one here, of course, was all over the place. I wouldn't bet too much on it. But at least this gives you an idea of what to expect in terms of dividends when you make an investment decision.
Thanks, Daniel. Okay, can we start on symbol requests?
Let's do it, yeah.
Okay, so the first one is from Nick. MURA, Mura.
MURA, all right. Nomura Holdings. And let me just quick.
That's not the right one. So perhaps we don't have this symbol MURA, unless we don't have all filters. But the next one is SBEV.
SBEV. Yeah. Splash Beverage Group. Oh, what are they doing? Sounds like a fun drink to have. Manufacturing, distribution, marketing, and sale of various beverages in the US. All right, based out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Okay, let's check it out. Bearish for 748 trading days. And we just broke, well, not just 27 days ago, we broke below support now on the zone break, but it seems like a bit of a retracement coming up here towards the broken support level. If you are a short trader, I would not do it personally. Perhaps think about entering some shorts here. Let me actually see if this is optionable. Just see now. Yeah, not sure about this one actually. what to do? It's definitely a very bearish stock. So, but I would still not trade it to the short side. It's not my cup of tea.
Perfect. Yeah, very dangerous to short here. In case it gaps up 50% in one day. And the next one is TEM. TEM.
All right. Where do we have it? Just a second. We don't have. Yeah, send us these symbol requests. I'm surprised it's not in here. I can look
it up on Google to see the name of the company. TEM stock, Tempus AI. Wait, let me make sure that's it. Yeah, Tempus AI, TEMPUS.
Yeah, okay, I'm just gonna go here. It's fine. Yeah. Okay. What do we see here? That's a nice, beautiful white background here. All right, so Tempest AI, we are kind of sideways. Oh, this is brand new, huh? This one is hard to analyze if it's a brand new stock. There's not much price history there. Well, definitely at this lower end, but I wouldn't trust it too much. I just don't see there's not enough history for this one. I would stay away. You may want to think about a bounce here of this level. Perhaps a good idea, but not my cup of tea either. It's too new.
Perfect. Okay. And can we please look at Arthur J. Gallagher?
Yes, I love that one. I was hoping somebody would mention it. It has been very good to us. AJG, Arthur J. Gallagher. All right. Yes. What a beaut. We've played this stock so many times in the last weeks and months. It's just a monster of a bullish stock. Look at this one here. Every pullback eventually turned out beautifully. So our last idea was, hey, go long. When price pulled back to the support level, of course, on that crazy week, everything went further down. But look how fast this stock recovered. All the way up to this resistance level, bounced off there. This was very predictable. And now on a down move again, if we get somewhere near the support level, I will definitely go long again on Arthur J. Gallagher. Like it for the long side a lot. And this is a level 3 pullback right now. So I think there might be a level 4 pullback still in play, a bit further downside action, then a great long opportunity here. Yeah. Like
Agreed.
it.
And the next one is BAH.
Yeah. BAH. Booz Allen Hamilton Holding Corp. All right. No idea what they do. Industrial consulting services. They just turned bullish. When I say just 33 days ago, oh, sorry, bearish, just turned bearish. Went all the way down to the support level, then bounced off. Now we're at resistance here. Yeah, if anything, potentially a short play off this resistance level. Maybe. But there's not enough room. So the room to the support level here, which might be the move you can expect, is just very nearby. Yeah, not my cup of tea. But if anything, it would be bearish.
Perfect. Okay. And the next symbol is United Health Corp, or
Yeah.
UNH.
Yep. All right. Long bounce one. I mean, they just turned bearish. All right. Interesting one here. They were bearish before. We had a very short-lived bullish move here. Yeah. All over the place. If anything, I would do something perhaps if stocks, if it's a bit more above at this resistance level here, or perhaps near this support level down here. Right now, kind of all over the place. Not my cup of tea. It's quite messy, as you can see here. Nah, I would stay away personally.
It was, I think, a 20% plus down day. So maybe wait to see
Oh,
how it
it's here.
goes.
Oh boy, I didn't even see this.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I thought maybe you missed. Yeah,
I
it
did
dropped
miss
to
that. I just
20%.
looked here. I didn't even. Oh boy, this is huge. I mean, that actually makes it more interesting. I thought we were up here, kind of a no man's land. If this holds, and if there's a sign for some bullish recovery, huge gap here. If you want to do the gap play, that gaps will be filled over time. Yeah, maybe something of interest, but still too risky for me.
Yeah, perhaps
But look at
decent
these
reward
gaps
to
being
risk on the
filled, huh?
support.
Look at this one here. Gap filled. Huge gap. Maybe you fill again. We'll see.
Perfect. Okay. And then the next symbol, okay, so we did UNH. Now, can we look at a future and a Forex? And for the
Yeah.
future, can we please look at ES?
Yeah.
And we had a
Alrighty.
question from Lenny
Yeah.
saying, hey, can we see these same indicators on TradingView, or do you have to get them separately for that?
You have to
Assign
get them separately. Yeah. So the dashboard is a subscription product, which there's a monthly fee for it. For the TradingView indicators, for example, if you want to get the same indicators for TradingView, we offer them actually for life. So one-time payment. Nicholas, perhaps put the link into the. We actually have a special going on right now. Let me show you what it is real quick. Nice segue, Lenny. So if you go to tradingindicators.com/IQ, IQ stands for our IQ suite. You actually see a nice combo deal where you get MA Rush and Liquidity IQ for a package deal for only $9.97 for life. So that's you get two indicators for the price of one, basically. And this includes our MA Rush indicator, our trend indicator, but also our Liquidity IQ indicator. And as mentioned, we use these all the time for swing trading, but also for day trading. So they're very versatile in that way. Okay, so here we have ES, the futures. It's very similar to SPY, so I don't really, there's no big difference. So if you overlay SPY here, just a second, you can see that from a swing trading point of view, it's, where is it? One a bit bigger here. You see this line? Oops. Sorry. I think I messed something up. There we go. See this red line here? The red line on top, that's SPY. Make this a bit bigger. Just a segment, maybe make this, I don't know, white. See, it's the exact same price action as ES. So to me, I just analyze the SPY instead of going to the futures. But yeah, if you want, you can go to the future space here. No problem. Yeah.
And then we had a question about kit currencies. So do
Yeah.
we have XAU
No,
USD?
not right now. You have to go to the gold price GLD. Yeah, we do have a whole bunch of forex symbols. If you go here to asset class, you can see it here and filter by asset class, you can pick forex, and you can see we have 34 forex pairs, but XAU is not one of them.
Thank
All
you.
right.
And the last symbol request is, well, Kevin making a comment on UNH saying, hey, stay away from that since it just dropped 20% on earnings. See what happens. Yeah.
Yeah.
And our next symbol request is CIB,
Yeah, let me
Colombian
see.
Bank. So,
Colombian Bank. Is it this one here? Bank Colombia. Yeah, it sounds like it. Financial Services, Banks
CIB,
Regional.
yes.
And let me just take off my SPY here. Alrighty, what do we see here? Okay, it's definitely bullish. Bullish since January the 5th, 2024. We had a zone break here, then the pullback all the way, and now we're back above this level. Yeah, could be an interesting long trade. Definitely, especially if we stay above this resistance level. I like the fact that we had our pullback here already. We filled this gap, which is always a good sign. That's checked. Because otherwise, I'm always worried, hey, when is this gap fill going to come? We did fill it. And now I think we have clear skies ahead, at least towards this level here on 40, 44 region. Yeah, good one.
Can we do one more symbol, Daniel,
Yeah.
which is USD JPY?
Alrighty, GPY. This one. Yeah, let's have a quick look. What do we have here? Bullish for 1,260 trading days. All right. Okay. Oops, it's a little bit. There we go. All right. Just go back here. This takes a little while to load. Just a second. Yeah, just go back here. Yeah, it's flickering a bit. It's definitely bullish, but we had a nice pullback here. I mean, if you want to swing trade currencies, now would be perhaps the time to take a shot on in the long direction, especially since price is at the support level. It's been trending up for 1,260 days, so for a long time. Oops, let me just go back here. Yeah, I can see it. Let me just see when it started. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, it doesn't show it, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, it's definitely bullish. You can see it here. We are right at this level, and price bounced off 3 times off this level. 1, 2, 3. Maybe if 3 times is the charm. One more time. Could be an interesting long opportunity potentially. But this is for a swing trade, for day trading. What's going to happen tomorrow on Monday intraday? That's a whole different story. But from a swing trading point of view, potentially a long setup here. Yep.
Wait, and one last question here, Daniel,
Mhm.
from Aubrey. And actually, can we do one more symbol request? One last one
Yeah.
from John. It's USD New Zealand dollar, USD NZD.
Yeah.
And
The
the question
Kiwi.
was on the Colombian bank stock, would an expected dividend date of April 28th affect your thoughts?
I mean, if we can check it out to see if what the dividend yield is, if it's substantial or not. Then there's some correction always coming in if dividend payments were substantial of price correction. If it's not substantial, I think it would not matter too much to me. It was just if a small dividend would be expected. Yeah, this one seems a bit sideways to me. If I look at this, more like a downtrend, making lower highs and some lower lows here. I would potentially not. I would stay away from this one. It's too messy for me. Yeah. Okay, so let me just go to the Colombian bank stock CIB one more time. see what's going on here. All right. Okay, so let's see if that's actually the case of the dividends. I'm gonna put the diff X date here. Yeah, April 28. It's soon. 38%. Jesus. What happened there? Well, it's very erratic. They had dividends paid out in March of $3.8 per share. It's huge. But before this, it was substantially smaller. Well, basically, we have no idea what to expect for this one, right? How big the dividend will be. But yeah, it's it's definitely interesting. So if they, of course, you would can expect another big dividends like 3.8 per share, dollars per share, that would be huge, of course. But yeah, no, definitely because the dividend yield is so high, this would affect my logical thinking of getting in potentially now, but also expect once another big dividend will be paid out, you may see a drop in stock price to make up for that after the dividend div X date. Good.
Perfect. Okay, and our last question was from Lenny. Are there any Forex relationships you look at as an indicator to evaluate greater market conditions?
I don't. No. To me, that's too fundamental. I look at technicals, and that's this has been really good to us. I think our trade of the weeks that we send out our newsletters, they've been quite spot on most of the time. Also our picks here, so that goes well for us, and also it's so much easier for everyone out there just to focus on technicals, especially you have a great scanner available and the indicators do most of the heavy lifting for you. It makes it just so much easier. And I'm a big fan of keeping things simple, trying to identify like macroeconomic FX news and how it affects stocks. That's not my cup of tea. Yeah, it's very hard to begin with, and I think sometimes it's an overkill. Key technical setups can be just as meaningful towards the futures, in my opinion. All right, perfect. Well, guys, with this, I think we went through most of the questions. Just a couple of quick reminders. If you don't have our ebook yet, download it via this link. Also, if you are interested in our dashboard, one second, if my computer unfreezes, there we go, oh boy. Check it out at tradingindicators.com/view. Of course, the first week is completely free. And then you have interesting monthly and yearly options. And of course, if you already have the dashboard, don't miss out on the bootcamp. I think it's very comprehensive. It's 2 hours of information, tips and tricks, knowledge about our Liquidity View dashboard. And of course, we have our Discord channel. So if you're not a member yet, please join our Discord community. It's always a lot of fun. We post a lot of charts on there for day trading mainly. You get trade alerts, you can ask questions and so forth, and perhaps just interact with your friends on our Discord. So check it out there. And also, if there was a question which we have overlooked, don't be shy. Please put them into the contact form on our homepage. Go to tradingindicators.com. In the main menu, click on contact. This will open up a form, put your question there, and this will go straight to my inbox, and I will make sure to get back to every single question of yours, even on Easter. Yeah. Business never stops. All right, guys, with this, I wish you all a great Easter holiday. And Lenny says, please repeat the link to join the group. It's in the chat, Lenny, but it's tradingindicators.com/Discord. And for the newsletter, you will get this automatically if you signed up for our ebook, Lenny. Okay. Link to TI site page on lifetimes, but you went to normal page, not there. Oh, Robert, 1 second. Maybe it was the wrong link. I'm going to double check this real quick. Tradingindicators.com/IQ. Let me post this into the chat for everyone. 1 second. If I can manage to do this. There we go. Nope. There we go. Okay, everyone. Liquidity IQ special, including MA Rush. There we go. Okay, that should work now. Perfect, guys. All right. Lenny says, this was great. My first time. Definitely need the bootcamp. Yes, you will get the bootcamp. As soon as you sign up, Lenny, the bootcamp video will be included in your getting started email. And Robert says, thank you. Perfect. All right, guys. Well, with this, have a great long weekend if you have one. I'm not sure where you are in the world. Some countries don't have any Easter holidays. I think here in Canada it's either a Friday or Monday. But of course, if you run your own business, there's never any holiday in case of me. In any case, have a great long weekend wherever you are. Take some time off and see you soon at one of our next webinars. Until then, trade safe, guys. Bye bye. Thanks, Nicholas.